Well, we still have a season to play through as we attempt to out-tank the competition. So really quickly, before anything else, I mean, we could send Reese McGuire down now. I mean, he got a lot of interest from people. Let's bump up Mr. Thorne. I'm going to drop McGuire down to AAA. We managed to get rid of Bobby Dahlbeck, which is good. Bill Patel, by the way, is gaining overall at a pretty steady pace. We should keep an eye on that guy. We're not going to send down... Can I get away with sending down Trevor Story? I could. I mean, it would piss him off to no end, but man, if we wanted to tank, if we wanted to just outright tank, that would be the way. Let's go to the 40-man really quickly. David Robertson. We'll go ahead and take you off that list. Let's get Nick York onto the Major League roster. We'll get him onto the Major League roster. And David Hamilton's already there. And I'm going to send Christian Arroyo and Trevor Story down to AAA in an effort to tank. Third base. I'm not going to send down Devers. I'm okay with trying to tank Trevor Story and Christian Arroyo's value. Not Devers. I can't do that to Rafi. I can't do it. I barely want to do it to Christian Arroyo. Shortstop are already fine. Meyer is already up to a 78. And then we have... Honestly, the outfield we're going to leave the same. In fairness, we can actually send somebody down. Jaron Duran. I'm going to send you down. 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't even really need 5 outfielders, but it's fine. And then pitching-wise, Luis Oviedo has to be on the roster because he was a Rule 5er last year. Chris Sale coming off of an injury. Who would have thought? Brian Bellows also hurt. Jesus. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Honestly, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. It's okay. So, you know. Well, you know, I mean, we're tanking. I really should just go all in. Why Story in AAA? Because we're trying to tank. Based off of these drafts, I need another pick inside the top 7 is what I need. We also tried to trade away certain people, and it didn't work. Can I fuck with the 40-man anymore? It'd be a bit of a pain. Whitlock. In fairness, I don't have too many people I can call up. We're gonna leave it as is. We're gonna leave it as is. Let's keep it going. So it is a shame, right? Like, we're just not gonna know, at least until next year. Why not just trade deadline passed? That is why. We will. I mean, honestly, we're probably going to call him back up. Did you just see how many wins we just picked up? Never mind. Trevor Story, come back. Baby, come back. We were doing worse when you were here. How is that possible? Oh, no. All right, well, let's just call Reese back up. Story, Arroyo, fuck it. Let's call him back up. Let's keep it simming. AAA will just hit autofix. It's fine. Why are we winning so many games? Sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus. Why are we winning so many games when I'm actively trying to tank? This is a disaster. This team is pulling a major league on us. Oh my God. We're only 6 games under 500 now. Are you kidding me? The Woo Sox have made the playoffs at 85 and 65. The Sea Dogs did not make the playoffs. And the Woo Sox are already eliminated. And we finished with a 77 and 85 record on the season. Not nearly as bad as I was hoping to be. God, we can't even tank right. Son of a bitch. The Yankees and Rays make the playoffs out of the AL East. The Twins, Guardians, and Tigers make it out of the Central. And in the West, it's only the Astros. So the Rangers were the best team to miss out. We were the 4th worst team in the AL, but the Royals, A's, and Orioles out-tanked us. Convincingly, by the way. We were 12 wins above Baltimore. In the NL, Braves, Mets, and Phillies all made the playoffs. Yeah, the Cardinals make it out of the NL Central. And the Dodgers and Padres made it out of the West. Oh, no. Oh, this is bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have the 10th pick next year, if I'm not mistaken. It's looking like it'll be another top 10 pick, but man, we're going to need some teams to screw up then. We weren't nearly as bad as I thought we'd be. I don't even know how we weren't as bad as we should have been. We'll talk about the playoffs in a minute. First, I mean, let's try to find a culprit. So Devers actually played most of the games. So it's the first time for us. He's up to a 92, by the way. That's the first time for us he's played over 100 games in a season. He did not lead the team in hits, though. That was Marcelo Meyer with 149. Devers did lead in home runs with 30. He would have had more competition from Story if we didn't send him down for a month. Good for Tristan Casas as well, 20 home runs. Devers led in RBIs. Only top 6's lottery. It is, yeah. And Meyer led in stolen bases with 16. In terms of pitchers, the winningest was Garrett Whitlock. I hope we get a nice trade offer for him next year. 49 saves for John Schreiber. 166 strikeouts for Sale. And our best starting pitcher was Whitlock, the only starter with a sub-3 ERA. So honestly, like, our pitching didn't appear to be dreadful. We had some players who actually did kind of well. We might struggle to tank. We might. So the playoffs, wild card, Cleveland and Tampa. So the Guardians streak might just be over. Yankees play the Tigers. Of course, the Twins and Astros have moved on with the automatic bye. Padres play the Mets, Cardinals against the Phillies, with the Dodgers and Braves awaiting their competition. Cleveland ahead of Tampa. Detroit knocks out New York. San Diego makes it in over the Mets, and the Cardinals over the Phillies. So we're down to our Elite Eight. Cleveland back in the ALCS for the 3rd year in a row, where they'll take on Houston and the Dodgers play the Braves. Can the Guardians make it 3 in a row? They cannot. Houston wins in 7, and they will play the Atlanta Braves in the final. Houston and Atlanta. The Astros, led by Yordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, Jose Altuve. They are without Javier, though. But, I mean, it's a lot of familiar faces for Houston. But for the Braves, for those who've been paying attention, you already know, it's Shohei Ohtani and the Atlanta Braves. Holy hell. Like, holy hell, man. Just a ridiculous team for the Braves. Who's going to win the World Series? The answer, for old time's sake, the Houston Astros win the 2025 World Series in 5 games as well. Wow. World Series MVP, Jeremy Pena. Is there anybody more clutch than Jeremy Pena? Apparently not. Jesus Christ. Wow. In terms of regular season awards, AL MVP Juan Soto in his first year in Tampa. NL MVP Manny Machado. Tony Gonsolin. Holy shit. What a season for him. Cy Young in the AL goes to Corbin Burns. Couldn't help Cleveland get that 3-peat, though. And Gonsolin won it on the NL side of things. 2 of the 3 finalists for the Dodgers. Batting title in the AL goes to Yordan Alvarez. Rutschman and Ty France, the other finalists. NL is Bryce Harper over Gavin Lux and Brendan Donovan. Reliever of the year is Duran for the Twins. Yeah, I mean, with the ERA, I mean, there's an argument for Andreas Munoz. NL-wise, it's Evan Phillips, and that's undisputed. Undisputed, easily Evan Phillips. Rookie of the year! Oh, I thought we had it. Then again, I think there's a pop-up if we did, but Sam Bachman wins it over Marcelo Meyer. Toronto's Sam Bachman, Rookie of the Year. NL-wise, it's J.R. Russell for the Milwaukee Brewers. Damn, looking very promising. And then the Hank Aaron Award, Juan Soto and Bryce Harper. So that is Season 3 in the books. We just drafted our future ace, but we are going to have some decisions to make. We don't lose anybody overly important in terms of retirements. James Paxton's gone. Daniel Bard, Merrill Kelly. Josh Donaldson retires as a Red. Okay. Then we get into the free agents. Former first overall pick right there. Any Hall of Famers? No Hall of Famers in 2025. Okay, well, this will be interesting. Alex Cora's contract has expired. Do we bring in club legend Dave Roberts? IRL, I would not want to see Dave Roberts, but video game Dave Roberts looks pretty good. Also Chris Dietz, Giancarlo Adamson. I mean, for the memes, it might have to be Dave Roberts. We also need a first base coach and a farm director. What can we get from a first base coach here? Mike Waters has no negatives. Nor does Ralphie Soilemez. Soilemez. I don't know. Mike, your name's a little bit easier for me, apparently. Let's go for Mike Waters. Let's go for old Mike. We'll give him 1.5 a year. We also need a farm director, which is something Dave Roberts would also be phenomenal at. Or Chris Dietz, who is also up for head coach, or Robert Hoosby. Let's go for Marco Cortez. He's younger. Let's go for Marco Cortez in this role. And Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts. $9 million a year, my good man. Come ruin my team. Come ruin my team. In terms of exclusive free agents, we're in the same spot as last year. With Christian Arroyo and Chris Sale. Sale's down to an 80 for both of them. We're going to qualify them. And if they do sign for $20 million, then so be it. But hopefully we can get an extra draft pick or two out of those guys. I don't think Trace Thompson would work out well for us in terms of qualifying. And given that he's 35, we're going to let him go. And Reese McGuire, I'm going to let go of him as well. So we're going to hope with Sale and Arroyo, it's wishful thinking. But it might work out. Dave Roberts is going to go to the Reds. He wants to coach that second baseman. Can you blame him? Can you blame him? The other two accepted. So in terms of a manager, Chris Dietz, Mark Pryor. I mean, Mark Pryor would be pretty fun. I do like using former people, like former players. Again, I do wish you could sort by overall grade. The fact that you can't, to me, is still just fucking insane. It's like you never see the middle of the list. Like, what's a B-rated guy doing down there? Even though he's trash, like, that's still one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm actually going to offer Mark Pryor this deal. He's not the best one available, but he's not bad. He'll be cheaper. That's Mark Pryor. Is it going to work out? Bumblebee, what's going on, by the way? Mark Pryor went to the Dodgers. Okay, we are 0 for 2. We are 0 for 2. Chris Dietz, you were my first choice, buddy. You were always my first choice, Chris. What do you think? All right, Chris Dietz is our new manager. And with that, we head to the next phase of free agency. Let's take a look at the big names that are out there. So for starting pitchers, Dylan Cease at 30. Again, nobody that we're going to go after. They would just make us way too good when we're trying to be bad. If we were a little bit further along in the rebuild, sure, I'd look at someone like Dustin May to help put us over the edge, but it's just not worth it. Just not worth it. I mean, even Griffin Canning's 29 at this point. That said, again, Kershaw keeps getting offers. Is there anybody out there with a half-decent potential that might have snuck through? Danny Duffy is a bit too old, so is Quintana. Pablo Carrara, 18 years old, 57B. We'll certainly offer him a contract. Michael King, best reliever that's out there right now. Jonathan Hernandez is 29. Alex Reyes is 31, still has that A potential. Got Hunter Harvey. Good old Denilson Lamet. Not looking good in the land of relievers. There might be, I didn't even notice that was Ottavino. Like, there might technically be a couple of C's who aren't that bad. A bit higher up, but yeah, in terms of relief projects, nobody snuck through. And Devin Williams is available on the open market. The Brewers have the top offer for him out right now. No surprise that they'd want to keep him. For catchers, JT Realmuto is the obvious gem. Philly doing their best to keep him. Is there anybody here? Travis Darnaud is available. Eric Blank. Eric Blank randomly kind of fell through there. We'll throw an offer out for him. Oh boy, Blue Jays fans. Vladdy at 27 is the gem of first baseman available. Let's see, Jose Abreu, Joey Votto. Doesn't really look like I did see Lucas Sizemore in that last draft. Again, Vladdy would make us way too good. He'd make us way too good. If we were a little bit further along in the rebuild process, absolutely. We added Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to work with Rafael Devers. We have to go for it. Like, we're not rebuilding at that point. We got to go for it. I don't think we have the depth to go for it. I think it would be a waste of time. Waste of a window. 77 overall, 18-year-old. But C potential. Where? Are you saying that Hazy as a hypothetical? Yes, hypothetically, that could exist. Not as worried about it, because there's so many different C potentials. But yes, technically it is possible. Let's see. Anybody here for second baseman? Nobody appeared to sneak through the cracks here for second baseman. Third base, Yohan Moncada is available. Former Red Sox prospect. 70 minutes, 70-something. Well, hey. You might have. Am I going back? No. No, I'm not. Kelvin Gutierrez is real. Well, there's Chauncey Ball. There he is. He refused to sign with us before. 20A, but a 41. I'm going to try to bring him back. I'm going to try to bring him back, and we'll just give him even more money. Normally, I'd say, he didn't want to sign with us, but no one else is going to sign the fucking guy. He's a 41. It's the only way he'll actually do anything in franchise. Bo Bichette and Tommy Edman are both there. Those outfielders could very well be there. This is why we look. Mateo Mondesi. You got Miguel Rojas, but yeah, he's like 37. There you go. Cole Tucker's 29 at this point. Then Johnny Nunez. Top left fielder, I mean, Schwarber. No one else. I don't care if there are the 79s. It's Schwarber. 28-year-old Carlos Cortez. So really nobody in left. No, there's Mike Dennis. 18B. but a 50. We'll try to sign him too after he spurned us. So, well, we know we had good potentials from those guys. Their overalls are trash. Top center fielder, Brian Reynolds. Cedric Mullins is also out there. Do we have anybody at center who's a little bit further down who did not sign with their team? No. And then in right, wow, Kyle Tucker. This is one hell of a free agent class. My God. My goodness, this is one hell of a free agent class. And there's Vince Scruggs. So 2 of the guys that refused to sign with me were young A potentials but low overalls. We actually did have a pretty good draft. And we'll still see if we can get these guys to sign. Damn. So we are going to have to free up some roster spots. Let's go do that really quickly. And then again, it'll be the same thing as always, spring training. I'll do it off stream just to be able to make up a little bit of time because it can be a little bit boring to set up the team, and that'll allow us to, well, actually tonight, we have packs to open. Oh, Blaze Jordan dropped back down to a D. Yeah, tonight we got some packs to open and then some road to the show. So hopefully we get some good equipment items. Honestly, these younger D potential guys on occasion can go up to a C. That's why I'm willing to keep some of them here. That's why we signed them in the first place, I should say. That's the full MLB roster. And then pitchers, this will be, yeah, like Suter we can get rid of. Jake Odorizzi. Yeah, these are the guys that we can move on from to free up space. Move on from the veterans, who I gotta be honest, I will probably have to bring back because we don't really have that many natural relievers, except for Joe Kelly. Well, actually, I'm still gonna cut Joe Kelly and then probably bring him back. Probably. All right, there we go. That works for me. So free agency, we got some offers out there.
Oh, good.
40-man roster. Shout out to Mini Lecter for the follow. I'm not going to worry about adding Jacob Webb. I can't imagine we'll lose him. Arbitration. Garrett Mitchell. We got 3 years left of arbitration time. $2.7 million after picking him up in a deal. And again, I'm willing to use some real people, even though again the emphasis is on the draft. Nick Sandlin as a reliever. Carter as well. Thank you guys both for the follow. We'll go $3.5 million for Sandlin, which isn't bad. Again, for the love of God, we need a reliever. And then even Colby, we got 2 years left of arbitration time. We'll go $3.3 million. Achilles, what's up? It is not. Versus Twitch chat does not work anymore with the changes they've made to the draft. At least at the moment, it doesn't. So. All right, so let's see. Emil Chavez. I want to bring you back. I mean, Thorne's 20. I guess I put him on waivers. Chris Valley, who we drafted last year. Flores is 23. We can let him go. Let's bring Ullman back. Bill Patel, Johnny McMahon. I actually want to offer Johnny a little bit more money than that. Lionel Saccone. Apparently already looking to get rid of. Let's bump up a Webster. Manuel Valdez. It's a renewable deal. We'll go ahead and do that. Same for Nick York. We got our boy Torrero. Man, I'm very intrigued to see what this team looks like, knowing our new young ace is going to be our best damn player. We'll keep Sogard. Let's keep Mateo again. Terrible potential, but good overall. Hopefully it changes. Opposite. Good overall, terrible potential. I might have said it right the first time, actually. I'm losing my mind. I think I tried to cut all 3 of these guys, didn't I? Just the bottom 2. Shortstops. Lugo. Let's bring you back. Gio Conrad. I elected not to cut Greg Hale. You got James Nunn that will try to build up, and Richardson. Got Miguel Dew. Old Jimmy Prado, Grant Harris, who is never going to develop. Victor Mesa Jr. Victor Mesa Jr. Merrill Shavitz. What a name. What a name, Merrill Shavitz. So we got Bobby Turner, Cedric Herring, Miguel. 2 years at 780. And again, even though these D potential guys are there, just hoping that they can turn into something better. That is the plan. Closers, Lawrence. Definitely got to keep you. Durbin Feltman will go 1 year at 780. Might be your last year. Oviedo, 1 year at 800. Israel Tavares. Might as well keep you. And even Thomas Howell, as abysmal as you are. And then the starters. We got Michael Ellison, Willie Napier, Lance Kruger, Nick McFarland, Brian Mata. Josh, you're 27. You can go. Jimmy Denton. Our first ever first round pick, even if we kind of regret it. Antoine Hubbard. Floyd Tremaine. 2 more here. We can let go of Manning. And we'll keep Evan Huff. All right. So, in terms of who we're keeping, combined with that free agent list of players, we might be looking okay. We might be looking okay. Devin Williams is on his way to the champs. 6-year deal for Williams with Houston. Jesus. Again, I think right now we're picking a good time to rebuild, given how stacked some of these AL teams are. It's insane. Dylan Cease on his way to Philadelphia as they get themselves a new ace. Do we have any news about us? We did get Scruggs. We did get Ball. Seem to have re-signed pretty much all of our dudes. We still got some outstanding offers. And in terms of free agency, we signed them all. Yeah, so those younger dudes that foregoed signing with us. Dennis, Scruggs. They did end up signing. Good. Good. Let's see. Brian Reynolds also off to Philadelphia. So they get, I believe, the gem of the pitching class and the best outfielder available. Philadelphia spending gigantic money. Absolutely gigantic. As Willie Napier is the only guy. Chris Sale does not get an offer. He'll be back for next season. Same for Christian Arroyo. It was worth a shot. As Zach Gallen is on his way to Chicago. And to be honest, I'm going to offer Willie Napier a little bit more money because I don't like you just kind of sitting there not signing. Willie, for the love of God, sign the deal. JT Realmuto is on his way to Minnesota. 1-year deal, $16 million for the 35-year-old. Ty France goes to San Francisco. 4-year deal for him. Napier still hasn't signed. How much fucking money do you want, man? Just sign the contract. I'd prefer not to lose you in that beautiful mustache. Tucker, Vladdy, Bichette, they're all still out there. Nico Horner is on his way to Baltimore. 5-year deal for the 28-year-old second baseman. It's a damn good deal. Baltimore's scary. Kyle Tucker. Houston loses a big piece. Kyle Tucker is going to Miami. 9-year deal, only $17.5 million per. That's a fucking steal potentially. All right, Napier finally signed. Thank God. So we can move ahead to the Rule 5. Miami's making moves. Jacob Amaya and Dominic Jameson on their way to Texas for Marcus Semien. They add Semien and Kyle Tucker. Miami making moves. Edwin Diaz gets moved again. He goes from the Angels to Atlanta for Javier Assad and Bo Phillips. That just reads like a cap dump. like really? That is a salary dump from the Angels to move on from Edwin Diaz after one season. Michael Kopech on his way to the Guardians as they'll look to get back to a World Series next year. So we move on. We get to the Rule 5. 10th pick for it. Wow, it's a busy Rule 5. All right, I can see why he was taken. Yeah, I can see why those guys were taken. Is there anybody interesting for us? Start off position-wise as we always do. I mean, Jax Groshans is there. We do need a backup catcher, but it doesn't have to be someone who's actually good. I mean, Ronaldo's our guy. I mean, yeah, it's not looking too good. First base, Grant Levine. And Ivan Melendez. I mean, obviously we have Casas there. 26B, mid-60s for some first baseman. Second base. I mean, Marcano, Max Schrock. Maximum Schrock. Jose Devers. 26B and a 65. Third base. 24B and a 64. Kobe Mayo. It's probably my choice so far. 24B and a 64 at third base. Anybody in left? No. Anybody in center? 24B a 63 for Ryan Shermack. And then in right, Tristan Lutz, but he's 27. Do we have any good pitchers? Right now, it's looking like Mayo's the guy. Couple of 27Cs weren't that bad. 28B, Logan Allen. I mean, 27B, Logan Allen. 2 Logan Allens? I mean, I suppose I could believe. They don't look the same, so I guess I could believe it. Yeah, I mean, starting pitching, there's not much there. Relievers, Dennis Santana. If we wanted to get like an actual half-decent reliever, we're not going to find a project reliever. Yeah, the fact you still can't sort. And then closing pitcher. All right, I am going to take the reliever, Dennis Santana, to start this off. Just because I need an actual reliever on the team. Are we still aiming to completely suck? For the most part, yes. We are also going to take that third baseman, Kobe Mayo. To be honest, I might just take more relievers. Because if I don't take them now, I'm going to have to take them in free agency. So shout out to Brett Martin. Come on down. I'm going to take as many relievers as I can. Give me Dakota Hudson. It's fine. We got plenty of cap space. I'm going to have to sign free agents anyway. So I might as well just take all these guys in the Rule 5. We have the roster space. As hilarious as it is. That's probably about all we need. I think that's about all we need. The rest of these guys, I'd want the ability to send them down. Okay. So we should be good. Couple of Rule 5 picks. Vladdy's still out there. Like, we can't end this until we know where Junior's going. As Jack Flaherty signs a pretty big 4-year deal with the Padres. All right. We have a trade. We have a trade. The Marlins also acquire Ryan McMahon who looks like a great reliever, Pedro Cora, and Yidi Cape, which is a really fun name to say. The Marlins are going for it out of nowhere. Luis Robert for Matt Chapman, 1-for-1. Is that more of a cap move for the Blue Jays? I mean, not necessarily cap, but I mean, obviously the internal cap. Interesting. Cardinals, I mean, solid. That's not the man that we're waiting for, though. Vladdy and Bichette are still there. The Marlins are in for Bo Bichette. And the Diamondbacks are leading the way for Vladdy. Wow. The Orioles have offered us a trade. Nope. Second I see Tristan Casas, you can get out of here. They're still out there. Dude, we might have to make a play for one of them. There it is. Oh, my God. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 6-year deal with the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies have spent money. And Vladdy is off to hit mile-high dingers. 6-year deal at $16 million per. That is very cheap. That is very cheap. Again, it wouldn't have made sense for us. It wouldn't have made sense. Think about how much we're already struggling to tank because someone like Devers is still here. You add Junior to that, we're screwed. We don't have the depth to reverse course and say, actually, let's go for it. We don't have the depth to do that. Bo Bichette is easily the biggest name still out there. I mean, Goldschmidt obviously is a huge name. Apparently, Dakota Hudson will get $1.8 million. A couple of other guys that we picked up. I mean, that's fine. I don't care. Bo Bichette. Oh, my God. Miami. Ambien. Hello. 6 years, under $13 million per for 28-year-old Bo Bichette. The Marlins have won this offseason. Holy hell. Have the Marlins won this offseason? I don't know. I don't remember if I can look at other teams' budgets, and I don't think I can. But we are going to look at their roster because that was an insane offseason. So now it's starting pitcher. They still have Alcantara, Luzardo, Trevor Rogers, Edward Cabrera, Yuri Perez, who's only 22. He's a freak. Sixto's still there. Bullpen's a bit weak. Average, but below average. Their bullpen's their Achilles heel. Catcher, Nick Fortes, I mean, they do have a project, and Daniel Susak is there. First base, Marco Cora, but also Taylor Sinclair, who was the #1 overall pick last year. Technically now the year before. Guy's a freak. Second base, they added Marcus Semien, who, I mean, they didn't have to give up. Well, actually, they gave up a decent haul to get him. Third base, they now have Ryan McMahon. Shortstop, they have Bo Bichette and Yu Chang. In left, Brian De La Cruz. Jazz in center. And Kyle Tucker in right. So they have, like, all right, it's like, all right, left field, it's okay. It's not amazing. First base, you're probably going with someone like Taylor Sinclair. Catcher, it's okay. Bullpen is their biggest weakness, but outside of that, man, that's really not a bad team. Holy God. Miami really did just start to go all in. But there he is. The 7th overall pick. Roger Rodriguez. I think we have to play him in the majors too, right? We just let him go. What are his quirks? Nothing yet. Okay. We did, Frank. We did. And Lawrence is going to be stepping up to be our new closer. Again, at catcher, we'll cover this now before I get a bunch of filler players, unless I sign anybody interesting. But at catcher, I mean, Ronaldo's still our guy. We are still going to have to look for a catcher, right? I don't think we can bank on Blank or Ullman to make it, but it's not the biggest need, right? It's, well, check out the top dogs, see if someone's there. At first base, we still have Tristan Casas. We're good. Bill Patel, McMahon, Martin Webster. Like, we have enough pieces in the system. We can avoid scouting first base for now. Still have Trevor Story and Arroyo at second, but again, Nick York, Torrero, and Franks. I don't think we really need a second baseman either. I mean, that's kind of in the same spot as catcher, I would say. Third base is Devers. Chauncey Ball's there now. He's never going to make it, though. We should still probably look for a depth third baseman, especially if Devers gets traded. Shortstop's Marcelo Meyer. We're set. Even if he's defense first, we're set. He goes nowhere. In left, Mike Dennis, who was our second round pick that we ended up with anyway. I think some people might be disappointed in that we ended up with them anyway, but it is what it is. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the fact that we brought some of these guys back. You know, the guys that rejected us. Ball, Dennis. But like I said, I don't think anybody would have signed them because they're such low overalls. But on the other hand, I'm like, well, they said no, so do we really want to bring them back? But regardless, that is the situation at the moment. Again, I do think we could still look for a left field option. Certainly, Miguel Dew isn't exactly the guy to bank on. In center, a lot of different pieces. Nobody that we can really bank on to be the guy. Potentials can change, yes. And then in right, we do have Miguel. And I think Miguel's our guy in right field. I mean, especially Vince Scruggs is there now, who was the other guy that walked away from the outfield. I think we can bank on Miguel being the guy for now. Prioritize other options. Starting pitching. It's Rodriguez. It's Jimmy Dent. Evan Huff. Pablo Carrera's in the mix. Starting pitching is kind of in that secondary tier. And then relief pitchers, yeah, we still need people in the system for relief pitchers. Closers, I think we're good with Lawrence, but we do still need relievers. So heading into this next season, third base, left field, center field, relief pitchers, those will be our focus. And again, I'll handle all the even further, like more boring stuff, like the re-sign can be boring enough for some people. I'll handle filling out the roster in spring training tomorrow, and we'll bounce back with this season 4 then and there, where again, we're probably looking at the 10th overall pick. I don't know if we can manage to end up with a higher pick than that heading into next season. I think a lot of it's going to depend on if we get any interesting trade offers, because now we do have younger guys like Casas, like Marcelo Meyer, that are here as major league caliber talents, and it's interesting. But at least in this little window, I got to look at him one more time. At least in that window, we picked up Roger Rodriguez. I'm still so happy.